So here's the latest edition of the Hellermann heli-rig. You see how nice and easily that moves through the actual hook link itself. From this end you've got your swivel which you attach your weight or your feeder to. I've got a Gardner C-clip beneath there, so it's easy to pull off in the event of a snag up, you know, in rocks, etc. I attached a main line which is £10 die with sensors. Attach it to the swivel with a 5-turn grinner knot. Use your own knot, whichever you feel comfortable with, but I love the grinner knot. Here is the nose for the rig to push onto. It's the streamer rig boom. I cut it down in size to 1 inch. On the boom I have 2mm of slice of Hellermann tubing. That is the collar, so you will not push the rig down more than is necessary for it to clip off, to pull off easily. It's 3mm from the tip to the collar. Then you have the rig running up and down the line, and that's basically how the rig looks. I'll just show you that it does push over onto the and there it is attached. Okay, this little item here, if you can see it, it's called Hellermann tubing. Hellermann sleeve. It's electrician's material for protecting wires when rewiring, etc. It's a product I've been working with for about 7 years now in this format. It's tubing, it's hollow through the middle. I've been using it to line my swivels and to make what I think is a safer sort of heli-rig. The rig that I've been adapting it for is this one here. As you can see, the Hellermann tubing, some beads to form the stops for the hook link. And the benefits of this rig is that there's no stops above the hook link. Stops above the hook link can be hazardous in the event of a fish being sort of snagged, and it will become tethered. So I've thought of a way of coming up with a situation where the stop is beneath the hook link and is enabled to pull off under little pressure. Now with this rig there is enough pressure to get a hook hold in the fish. So it's basically you will have enough pressure for a hook hold, for a hook up. But in the eventuality of it being snagged, this will just pull off, watch. Okay, that takes 4 to 8 ounces, maybe a little bit more sometimes in water, but it will pull off. So then that is completely free running, and that will come all the way off your line in the event of a breakage above the rig. Okay, I'll now show you how I set this rig up. It's quite simple. I'll start with the tubing itself and putting the beads on. So to start with, to make this rig, you'll need some big eye swivels from ESP. Again, ESP streamline rig boomers. These are quite stiff, and this is what helps make the rig successful. ESP 5mm rubber shot beads. Hellermann tubing. Usually the pellet banding tool. Now to start with, take your piece of Hellermann tubing. You need to get the beads and the swivel onto here. So the first thing you do is put a bead on. To do this, take your pellet banding tool, pop the nose onto the bit of the bead onto the nose of the tool, open it up like so, slide the Hellermann inside, let it go, pull it off, slide on the large end of the bead, sorry, the swivel eye, turn it around, open up another bead, slide it on, like so, fingers on, pull it off, and there you have the basic element of the start, the crucial part of the rig. Just a close-up of the rig. How nice that is. The big-eyed swivel, you can actually get this with a quick chain link swivel, so it makes your attachment easier. I'm quite happy just using that with a attach my hook link with a loop, the loop-to-loop sort of scenario. Gives you sort of twice the eye benefits as well. But that's how it looks close up. I'm sure you agree that's quite neat. Swivels nicely. There you have it. It's a lovely little rig. Now, to create this part of the rig, the nose that the Hellermann pushes onto, take your streamer rig boom, about 1.5 inches long. I cut it down. It just makes it a bit neater. You can probably get away with using it full size, but I'm sure a lot of you will agree, just shorter, you don't need it any longer than that. And that's about an inch, no more. Okay, so your hook length, or your main line, sorry, it's just a standard sort of swivel at this end. You can use whichever you want on the weight feeder side of it. I generally use a Gardner D clip, so it can all pull off in the event of the weight being tethered while fishing. This is just for demonstration purposes, this part of the rig, so don't take too much attention to that. Just wanted to show you how it's how I create the rig. So then I take the tubing, thread it on, pull it down, and if you can see that, force it over the swivel, like so. Now the important part is to put the collar on. The collar is a little piece of Hellermann, but cut it to about 2 millimeters. Thread that on. It's always a bit more fiddly when you're doing it live on camera. There you go. There you see it's on the line. Now you can push it over the nose, and you want to push it down to about, actually to 3 mil. What I sometimes do, rather than forcing it on, is to use my pellet banding tool, push it into the nose of the Hellermann, like so, open it up, and then drop it on that way. Push it down to so it's 3 millimeters from the point. I do measure this because it is important. That's exactly 3 mil. So there you have the bottom end of the rig. Okay, so as you can see, it's totally free running. Take the nose of the tubing, push it over it until they touch, and there you have it. That is that still swivels helicopter style, spins helicopter style. The line's protected. When you're playing a fish, it won't go any further down. You've got your collar to stop it, and then in the eventuality of it being snagged, to avoid tethering, it pops off. And I say that's 4 to 10 ounces of pressure will have that off. So I think that's well within any tolerances. Nice and safe. It's also worth noting with this rig that you might think, oh, it might pull off too easily and you won't hook the fish, but just to show you for the bolt effect, it quite simply, it pulls the weight along nicely. That's a 2-ounce lead, that is, and as you see, it picks it up. So it will only pull off if more than 6 ounces, for example, pressure is applied to it.